Cool. All right, chat room, we are live. Let us know when you can see and hear us. Wah, 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 wah. All right. Yeah. Heather, I added I just put AIE in front of Star Trek Online Director because if we don't qualify it, somebody could go, "Oh, it's the new Star Trek." Yeah. Greebog's the new Star Trek Online Director. Wait, what? Right. No. The online director for AIE.
Where's my money?
Right? Yeah.
I should have all the Zen then.
Yay, Tiber says voices and faces. And so does Apollos. All right. Well, Mew, whenever you are ready to go.
All righty. All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. On this episode of the AIE Podcast.
3 cheers for Corley.
Winter is... I'm sorry. Gamescom is coming.
Pants. We don't need no stinking pants.
The Final Fantasy move has been fantastic for AIE.
Our new AIE Star Trek Online Director, Greybog, is here to talk to us about AIE and STO.
All that and more coming up right now.
Inshirts show theme here.
Welcome to episode 282 of the podcast celebrating the Alea Yacta S gaming community, the Die Has Been podcast. Greetings, gamers. This is Mew Cow. And to my left is Tetsemi.
8 alts at 110. What's wrong with me?
I think they call it altitis. And to my right is Makala.
So I was going to make a comment about there being birthday cake in the guild kitchen for Apollos. However, then my husband asked what was wrong with him, and I think I have a spreadsheet for that.
And speaking of, this week we are joined by special guest Greebog, who is here to talk to us about AIE and Star Trek Online. Welcome.
Hey, how's everyone doing? I've been just playing, WoW raiding as a tank and running around in the arena Sompac trying not to get blown up.
Ooh.
Very nice.
I guess if everyone wants to talk about what's been going on in real life first, we'll get into that. First with our guest, Greebog. How's things been going for you?
Pretty good. Well, like I said, I've been raiding what was 4 nights a week. Now I'm cutting back to 2 for a little bit in WoW, but I've been trying to, have fun in Star Trek Online. I was getting some of the guys together. We've been running some of the current event, which is Arena Sompac, which is fun. So, which I think we'll cover later.
Yeah. I want to find out all about that.
Yep. And then I guess we can get to the rest of the hosts. Since you're on the screen, Tets, how about you? What you been up to?
Leveling alt, shocking, I know.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I just got my shaman to 110, and I've got them started on the, you hit 110, and basically they go, here, do this, do this, do that, do this, do that, do this, do that, and you're like, no, I just want to focus on the class storyline. Mm-hmm. So I did that, got the Broken Shore opened up and started on that, and thankfully timing worked out really well because I unlocked the go do an invasion just as an invasion was starting. So
it's good timing.
Grabbed the invasion, did that, and now I actually have to finish the class order hall before I can continue on the Broken Shore because I'm at the point where it's like go recruit another follower, and I can't do that until I get the class order hall done. So that is where I'm at. I'm enjoying the shaman campaign so far because it deals a lot with the void and shadow and not so much the Legion. I mean, there's definitely Legion in there, but it's a harken back to Cataclysm, especially when you go to Deepholm and talk with Therazane and deal with the Dragon Flight that's in Deepholm now. So that was a lot of fun. She's also, my shaman is one of those weird hybrids. I made her an enchanter and a Skinner because it was like, okay, I'm at the end of the line. What don't I have?
What don't you have, right?
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about the shaman, the way it kicked off the order hall campaign, is when you hit 110, it's like, okay, so the very first thing you need to do is go get 5 blood of Sargeras. And I'm like, really?
Is this your little
And
goblin shaman?
yes, no, my
got it?
panda
Okay.
shaman.
Oh, okay.
The goblin is my warlock.
Got it. Yes.
But the nice thing was I had enough order resources that you can actually go into your order hall and buy 5 blood of Sargeras. It just costs 5,000 order hall resources, but whatever. I just traded, blood of Sargeras on one character for order hall resources, shipped those over to the new 110, and then turn them back into blood of Sargeras. Bad conversion rate.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it advanced the storyline. So
Right.
that is what I have been up to, is just focusing on getting through the shaman storyline.
Cool.
Cute.
And then what about you? What's been going on in D&D world?
Well, we had a lot of no gaming this week due to one was an active
Nature.
god, literally Mother Nature. Get a message Friday morning, one of our players saying, "Hey, yeah, the tree knocked over the chicken coop and destroyed the garden, and I need to deal with that. We should be okay." And then a few hours later, yeah, the only time I can get help is during game time, but I'll try to get on afterwards. And yeah, game got canceled, which is because we got to the point where we need everybody there because we've been betrayed by the dragon we're working for, and there's some world-changing stuff, and yeah, so good times. And then our Wednesday night game got canceled due to the DM traveling. So I actually had some free nights. It was weird. But I needed it. However, Sunday night to go, and I'll be trying it because I had a birthday this week, and somebody may have spoiled me, and I may have a new laptop for such things, which is helping with our echo problem because I am upstairs podcasting instead of next to Tet. So that's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, I like being
But I
next
miss
to Tet.
you.
I miss you too, honey. I like being next to Tet, but it's really nice to not have the constant echo when we podcast.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. I did start a new project because I need that. My girlfriend Trey and I actually started a podcast called Mothers of Geeks.
I've heard noises about that.
I know. I mentioned that we were going to do that last time. I'm still going to steal Jen for an episode, definitely.
Oh, she's ready.
Oh, good. So we set that off 2 weeks ago. We just had our second episode, so it's been a lot of fun. Also, it's kind of great doing a less structured podcast because, as we well know, our AIE podcast is very structured because it's such a huge group. We need to make sure that we're looking at all the different things and scheduling guests and making sure that we have everything that we can have covered. So it's kind of fun to do here's 3 notes. What are we going to talk about?
Very cool.
That's what's up with me. How about you? What's up with you?
Well, I have not been doing alts in WoW, which I know
Are you
is
okay?
weird. Yeah, it's weird.
He's been
One
doing
second,
all
I'm gonna
Final
text your
Fantasy
wife.
14.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I've been doing alts in Final Fantasy. I know, which is weird because you don't have to.
You're right, exactly.
It's the same character.
Yeah,
or you're talking about...
Oh, no, I've actually been playing with other characters, not just my main character.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah, reason being is I was doing a bit of digging and found some of my old legacy characters. These are the 1.0 ones. And it's not a ton extra special, but because they were created before the new game came out, they have a special big tattoo on their backs to kind of say that, yeah, you've been here for a while.
Oh, okay. I understand doing things for the ink. Never mind.
Yeah, pretty much what it is you get the ink, and every now and then someone's like, hey, wait a minute, you're familiar. Because there's interesting story bits that they can't quite remember what happened before the game or the calamity happened, which is when 2.0 started, but or I should say 1.0 end. But every now and then they make a little nods, like, yeah, you're kind of familiar. Like, when I walk up to some of the class halls, And because when you start the game, you're supposed to go to the class hall, say, "Hey, I want to join your guild, so I can become, an expert conjurer," which becomes a white mage. Well, I showed up and I'm already like well ahead, and they're like, "Oh, you're already what? Okay, welcome to the guild." So
Right.
It's just interesting, little confused, but it's kind of like, hey, we already have this dragon head up in the town. What's okay, whatever. We won't question it.
That's neat.
Yeah. So, and I also, and one of the reasons why I'm not really focusing on alts in WoW, I actually finally put up a new episode of Altitis, which kind of explains
which will be
it.
on the end of this episode.
Yes. So why it is that I'm not diving into all my alts like many others have been, because, well, it gives me a bit of time to try some other stuff. That sounds like after we have a talk with our guest Greybog that I might have to poke a little bit at Star Trek as well. So it's good to have a little extra time.
Awesome.
It is.
Cool. Alrighty. And speaking of that structured document, where in the world were we? Yes, here it is. So we need to do a bit of AIE news.
Woohoo!
AIE news.
Alrighty. In Nomad's news, big shout out to Corley for continuing to maintain and upgrade the Rust server that AIE has been playing on. If you have Rust and are interested in finding out exactly how many caves that Arv has set up shop in, the Rust server info can be found at the link in the show notes. Thanks again to Corley for keeping this going.
Woohoo!
And if you want to find out the backstory on that, just look in the Nomads channel on the AIE Discord.
Check the Discord.
And in all the WoW news, because we got lots of WoW news, Gamescom is coming up August 22nd through the 26th, and Blizzard will be there with lots of game news, trailers, and announcements. For World of Warcraft, gamers will be able to group up with other Gamescom attendees and run through a dungeon from World of Warcraft's upcoming 7.3 patch.
Have fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Details about this content update will be unveiled on stage and via live stream during the Blizzard reveal ceremony on Wednesday. Are you looking for more information about 7.3 and what the new dungeon design is and where the story is going? If you're looking for information about all the Blizzard games as well as WoW, they will be live streamed at gamescom.blizzard.com.
Handy.
Also, if you're a caster, sorry, Warlocks, sorry,
Whatever.
Nicola, animations to look forward to in patch 7.3. They look very cool and definitely update the casting animations to match the class fantasy. If you want to see a preview of them, Blizzard has a blog covering what was updated and their thought process behind it. And some of those animations really look good. Like for the shaman, when they're casting an earth spell, they're actually, their hands and the channel is coming up from the earth.
Neat.
Yeah, so it looks like they're actually pulling the magic out of the earth and then casting it. It looks really good. And if you have alts, who doesn't have alts? Oh, wait. And are having a hard time keeping track of where they are in the various 7.0 story arc lines, Wowhead has a new feature for you. Just go to the attunement page. It works really well, and they're taking feedback about what else you'd like to see in the page. Basically, it shows you load up a character on your profile, and it'll show you where you are in the Suramar storyline with Good Samaritan, where you are in the post Good Samaritan storyline, where you are with the Broken Shore, where you are with Archway and Court of Stars, and just mentioned. So it's really it's good, especially if you play a lot of alts and want to see where they are. Mm-hmm. And if you are into transmog, be sure and check out the Trial of Style going on now through August 22nd. Check out the themes for the contest, put together your sets, and get your butt on that catwalk. And there's a link to the Wowhead news about the Trial of Style. And,
I have been noticing a lot of... Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I've been noticing a lot of tweets coming out from our guildies of their characters transmog.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And one of our guildies... Ku was doing did last night a transmog. It was an impromptu transmog swap meet, and then they got through cloth leather and chain and didn't get through the plate, so they finished it up today and did the plate stuff today. So they basically did kind of like a mini craft fair where people could swap out crafted pieces and BOEs that people had to make their transmogs cool. So
neat. All right. In Star Wars The Old Republic, mandatory fun nights on the imp side this week, so make sure your armor and weapons are on the right characters and you're wearing pants. Reminder, Max, put on pants. All right. Also dropping this week is new content called Crisis on Umbara, which will feature a new planet, a new flashpoint, a new stronghold tied to that flashpoint. For those who haven't listened to the episode 207 of the Escape podcast, where Max and Seema cover it, Umbara is a shadow planet that played a role in the Clone Wars. SWTOR Escape podcast 206, the current sea of currency is available at newworldoverlords.com, and where all podcasts are downloaded. And in this episode, AIE Seema, Max the Gray, and Astromech EPC 206 talk about what they think about the legacy merge of currencies, what they might look like, and what they've heard so far, with a brief note from Keith. And in episode 207, yes.
Oh, just so you know, this is going to be very interesting to watch, because I think this is one of the first MMOs to do this. Is they're taking all their currencies and making them legacy. So if you play alts, instead of having to, if you play a lot of alts and you have like collected currency on one alt and then collected one on another one, now instead of having to swap alts to buy stuff and stuff that might be bound to you, now they're making everything legacy bound. So there's just going to be a pool of currency, including the actual cash currency in game, that everything's going to be pulled together. So you don't have to swap tunes to send credits to each other. Everything allegedly is going to be account wide. So
account wide, so not even faction wide, but account wide, even
legacy wide.
Oh,
so
wonderful.
So both if you're on public or if you're on Imperial, will have access to these currencies. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do with that and deal with things like characters that have over cap on credits. Because you can have, I think, 1 billion credits is max per character. Well, if all of a sudden that becomes a legacy wide,
right?
That
I see exactly what they're doing, honestly. As a former MMO database person, what they're doing is they're saving themselves a lot of database space by not having every single alt have its own database entries for all these currencies.
Right.
They're going to make it all one. It's now just one entry, and then all they're doing for that. The reason why there was a cap on their money is because the data type was too small. So now that they're saving all this space on all your alts, they're just increasing that data type to a bigger one, so it can hold a lot more money. WoW finally did this a few years back when I was there, because we kept getting those errors from all the players. It just kept hitting that limit on gold. So it makes tons of sense for them to be doing this.
Great.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because it includes stuff like the current currency on IOCAF and things like that. So it's not only just credits, but it's all the other currency, the PvP currency, and everything else that you get collected. So
that's awesome. It definitely sounds like something that can be very beneficial to the players.
Very alt friendly. I like that.
Yay!
Yes.
All right. And Escape Podcast 207, Umbara revealed this episode. AIE Seema, Max Gray, and Astromech EPC 207 talk about the lore behind the planet Umbara, which is central to the update that is forthcoming next week.
Yeah, and I think Seema said there's a 4-part episode dealing with Umbara in the Clone Wars show.
Ooh, Ryan, unfortunately, aren't there yet. So reminds me we need to find time to chain pull some Clone Wars.
Exactly.
Same here. Alrighty, and then into Final Fantasy XIV news. The guild is more active than ever on the new server. Turns out being on a server that allows character creation really boosts activity. Who knew? I can definitely attest to that. It's every single day I'm seeing more and more new faces, more people trying it out, even brand new characters. I'm amazed. Even just my new character is seeing all these more new characters pop up. It's actually kind of amazing. I was at a dungeon last night that was nothing but new people. Like there was no what do you call it? Veterans at all. They were all.
Okay.
New characters have a little like a little sproutling for an icon that kind of tell you that that's a new person. It's more for the mentors, because if you're a mentor in Final Fantasy, you can kind of take them under your wing and help them, and send them to a chat channel, fun stuff like that. But so it's kind of amazing what happens when you go to an open server. It's funny.
Exactly, people can get in and join us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, Friday fun nights continue to be both fun and on Friday nights.
Hey,
funny how that works. Hop into the Final Fantasy 14 channel on the AIE Discord and see what all the fun's about. After the popularity of our Friday fun nights, our very own Duras has started leading folks through the first raid of this expansion, Deltascape, which is inside Omega. So the name kind of goes back and forth regularly throughout the week, not just on Fridays. So if you are looking for gear, and you'll know who to bug, and really do bug him. I mean, he actually doesn't like it if you don't ask him for help. So
definitely.
Yeah, so ask around. The guild is looking at spinning up 1 or 2 8-person content parties or static parties. So check the channel and ask about it if you're interested. There's definitely always a call for static parties. People that want to have the same group, essentially, a WoW raid group. They call in Final Fantasy land, they call them statics because it's the same group to do content over and over. They really want to get into it. They want to get into Deltascape Extreme. So jump in if you're ready for the challenge.
Cool. All right. And in Guild Wars 2, Disturbed Angel on the forums has a great post up about folks returning to Guild Wars 2 and getting ready for the new expansion, Path of Fire. Thanks to Disturbed for putting that together. Make sure you also check out the Guild Wars 2 channel in the AIE Discord. And in Secret World, are you playing the Secret World? Are you subscribed, planning to subscribe, or just free to play? Let us know in the forums so we can gauge the current activity level for the game.
Isn't the first rule of the Secret World to not talk about the Secret World?
Yeah, but then how do we get people to play it?
Shh, the secret. All right.
Okay.
Sorry. And in Star Trek Online news, as our guests can attest, the Star Trek channel in the AIA Discord has been hopping lately. Make sure you check out that channel if you're interested in joining in the fun. We have Captain Sybil's Star Trek Online news summary for the week ending in 8/20/2017. With Season 14 launching on October 18th, a new backstory, The Warrior Reborn, has been posted on the Star Trek Online website. This story provides a lead into the new season. Deep Space Nine fans will especially enjoy this one. There is an R&D promotion in the C store starting August 17th and going to September 7th. The R&D packs will be 20% off, and captains have a chance to find Sona's T6 Science Dreadnought starship hidden within a pack. It is a collector's edition starship featured in the movie Star Trek Insurrection. Grab it while you can. And cool. once you get those nifty upgrade mats from the R&D pack, you can, while acquiring the Sona starship, take note that the weekend it's also an R&D upgrade event. Captains will earn double technology points for upgrading their weapons and equipment. And a big challenge for new and veteran Star Trek Online players is how to build the ships you've always dreamed of. Within the vast number of weapons and equipment choices and combinations, this has been a daunting hit-and-miss task. Captain Quothala?
Just go with Cthulhu.
I always go with Cthulhu, dear. A regular member of STO's Reddit and 10 Forward weekly stream has addressed this dilemma and started posting custom ship configurations and upgrade guides to service the Star Trek Online community. Check the website for links. And from August 17th to September 7th, the Arena Stompek returns. This event is similar to WoW's Arena Play. Generous prizes await participants, and there are details on the Star Trek Online website. Now, Grabog, do you have any particular add on this one? I know we're talking about it a little bit pre-show.
Well, while it may be similar to like Arena for WoW, it's completely PvE, so you're only going up against like just the various things that you would fight in the world, like Gorn, Alachi, whatever. Iconians pop. You fight all kinds of stuff. You start off fairly simple, easy, and then eventually you get to a point where, like, we got to like round 38, where basically, if I got hit, I was one shot, so I was dodging as best as I can, putting out all the buffs I could, and doing as much damage as I could without getting hit.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like an endless runner.
Yeah, and the further you get, the more rewards and the better the rewards are. So there's
Awesome.
You get more marks, because that's one of the ways you can get some fleet marks. You can get more with the R&D stuff going on. You get even more R&D stuff to do. Yeah, all kinds of
Very cool.
Great. All right. And just a reminder, as always, don't forget our fleet base is always looking for contributions of mats and personnel. Once again, check out the news, backstories, patch notes, forums, and other goodies on the Star Trek Online website, StarTrekOnline.com. Until then, Captain Sybil says, live long and prosper.
And they'll even accept accidental contributions as well.
Yes.
All right. With that, we're going to again talk to that person we just heard, Greebog, and find out what's going on in STO with the AIE Guild. So,
First of all, can we give our condolences? I mean, congratulations to our brand new director.
Condolences.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, that's probably the biggest news right now that's gone on with the fleet is now I'm the fleet director. Captain Hunter, with his real life schedule, decided it was best for him to step aside, and well, he did. He did great things for us to help get the fleet started. I'm hoping to just kind of keep us rolling forward, maybe even try to get some more active players. So yeah. We are, like our holdings, we are progressing. We just completed the rank 4 for the shipyards, which actually unlocked a lot of more fleet ships for us. I actually am flying the Dreadnought. It's a fleet ship here that you can see from my camera view. The benefit for fleet ships is they typically have more hit points. They have a little more, they basically have just a little bit higher stats to help you do like the extra damage, take more damage, and stuff like that. So, and we are still working on the research lab. Want to get that knocked out for the fact that, well, like in WoW, you have talents at every so often. Well, in Star Trek, we have traits, and there's for the research lab, there's 2 branches. You got the research branch and the development branch. And as you get those completed, you get more. You get 1 more trait for one, and the other one will unlock 2 more traits. So basically, we're getting more talents by completing this, and it's for the whole fleet, not just one person. So
Very
comes
cool.
in very handy.
Is that how many nacelles does that thing have? I can't quite see your picture.
There are 3. It's
Yeah.
If you watch TNG, it would basically, it's based off of the, well, it was called the Futuristic Enterprise originally. It's what they call now. It's based off the Galaxy class, which had the 3 warp nacelles, and it also has a phaser lance on it.
This thing then that I'm sharing now,
Yes.
I think, is what you're talking about. Yeah, cool.
Yes, based off the Galaxy class, which most people know from TNG. Once we actually finish our research lab, I was going to have us push for getting the Spire knocked out, because that actually has one of the highest consoles for tactical. Yeah, it's just we're progressing. When we completed the rank 4 of the shipyards, it actually is allowing us to upgrade the actual starbase itself to rank 4, which this is a huge upgrade. I have it kind of on screen now. Like, it's over 1 million dilithium, which if you played Star Trek Online, you can only really refine 8,000 dilithium a day per player.
Yep.
So, per character. So it's kind of a time-based, and yeah, so that's probably going to be a big project here.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, you had to go out to like a little asteroid somewhere near Bajor, I think, and you jump out actually on the asteroid in your spacesuit and hop around and actually have to go mining for stuff.
Yep, that's one of the ways to get dilithium, running some of the queues to do, well, basically the dungeon type system. You get dilithium that way. We also have the fleet dilithium mine, which there's missions to go out on it and do the similar mining as you would on the other mining asteroid. So there's plenty of ways to get dilithium. It's easy to get more dilithium than you can refine in a single day. So
sounds like a fun project.
And then coming up, we're going to start this the 26th, which will be this coming Saturday. It's Set Phasers to Fun. It's going to be basically our fun night. We'll run various things from different queues. We'll do like the fleet alert, where we basically come and defend our starbase from an invasion force that comes in. It's one of the ways to kind of get some fleet marks for people. We'll probably do some red alerts, so that way people can join in. And we'll probably gauge. It'll probably vary from week to week on what we're going to do, but it will be a weekly fun event that we're going to be doing. Try to help people out, have some fun.
It's a good night too. I don't think anyone else was using Saturdays, which is surprising.
I think there's a few things, but nothing huge.
Yeah. And what time are you planning on doing it?
It'll be 10 p.m. Eastern. I think Star Trek has it on the events. For me, it shows 10 p.m. I think it's smart enough with their calendar system, unlike other games, where if you log in from Central, it will show you your time versus what I put into the game. So
okay, no, I was just going to add it to the AIE calendar and block it off. So it's 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes, 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably go 2 hours or so.
Awesome.
I will add that in.
Cool.
Something else I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make our fleet a little more visible in game with, like some games you can do a search for what fleets or what guilds are there. I'm going to make it so you can actually find our fleet, find out some more information, and try to bring in some new players, try to help fill out the fleet, and hopefully find some quality players at that.
So it's handy, yeah. Yeah, I know that that's Final Fantasy 14 actually finds new AIE members that way. It's not as easy to show up at someone's star base in Star Trek, but in Final Fantasy you can actually show up at the guild house and poke the little plaque and apply there. So it sounds like it's
the reverse of soliciting.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, put up a little sign and people come to you.
That's neat.
And well, what I like is, like, when I was new player, I had no clue on how to find a fleet. I'll be honest, I could look at like, oh, there's these fleets. What do I know? Some of them have some decent information about them and some don't. But, just, I know it was hard to find what I thought was a decent fleet. So I was kind of glad that AIE went into STO because it is a decent fleet. Doesn't matter.
Great.
All right. Any other notes you wanted to share with everyone?
Before we start the Inquisition?
Yes. The Romulan Inquisition.
I'm still learning as a fleet director, so it may take some time. Some things may change as we go, but
you've got plenty of people to help you. There's no worry there.
Definitely.
Yeah, well,
Exactly.
Officer Discord, I bounce ideas off of other people.
Yep.
That's why we have so many officers, because we're a great collective.
Almost like a board collective.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to have to shoot you all and blow you all up.
Oh,
But resistance is futile. Alrighty. Well, so what we'll do then is see if we can do a bit to get to know you. So we have a few questions to ask you in particular. So tell us about yourself how did you first get involved in AIE and Star Trek Online?
Well, first I joined AIE through WoW, because I was, listener to the instance and thought I'd give AIE a try because I was in a transition between, like, my previous Horde guild had, we killed stuff too fast. They got bored and stopped playing. So, and I've been in STO since before they started doing the free to play. So I actually picked up the lifetime membership during that time, so that way I didn't have to worry about paying my monthly.
Yeah, it was very attractive, and I definitely jumped on that as well.
Well, they have sales, and if you're looking to get the lifetimes, pay attention to the sales. Normally there's one around, it's either Black Friday or Christmas, depending upon, I think, their mood sometimes. And they also seem to do one in the early summer, springish time. So, because I know they just recently had a lifetime sub sale.
And Sybil's really good about letting us know when those are going on, so we can make sure that we share the news with the guild as well.
My guess is they're doing it right around that time that quarterly reports are happening.
Probably.
that
would be a smart business.
Ooh. Tet's all robot-y and frozen.
Great, he's been assimilated. Crap.
Yep.
No.
Didn't take long.
Good.
You're good.
All right.
Cool. All right.
All right. So, it's Star Trek Online that appeals to you as a game.
I've played other games. I like the space battles, the way they've done it. You actually have physics in it versus sometimes where the space battles you can do these stupid, insane turns that it would kill somebody because there would be too many G-forces. I know it's sci-fi. You could have inertial dampeners and stuff like that, but I don't know. To me, it makes I don't know. I grew up watching the original series with my parents. That would be like when it was on TV. So I've kind of grown up with Star Trek. So it's kind of nice to play in the world that you kind of grew up watching.
Yeah. Kind of like my call in Star Wars.
Very much so. So besides you, I know you mentioned the Set Phasers to Fun event, which is that the one that your wife wrote the name about?
Yeah, that's when I knew it was a good name.
It is a great name. Are there any other plans you have for events?
I do want to have other events eventually. Right now, I'm trying to figure out my schedule because it kind of changed a little since I went from 4 nights of WoW raiding to 2. But, I also kind of, I want to try to also get other things shored up with the starting as the fleet director before I throw, I don't know, too much into the fire. Definitely. I don't want to overwhelm myself and go, oh crap,
Right. Let's avoid burnout there.
But I typically, after I'm done raiding in WoW, there's a good chance you'll find me in STO, and I'll probably be running queues and doing red alerts, stuff like that. So if you're an evening, night person, you probably could find me, and we could run some whatever you want. I'm good for running any kind of queue.
Awesome.
Very cool. I think Sybil's also a very late night person as well on the fleet.
Yes. I catch her sometimes later than I am normally up.
Yeah.
Now that leads into the next question, that if someone wanted to hang out with the STO crew and have a bit of fun, are there any particular times that are more active than others? Any ways to find when people are running around?
Weekends, it seems to be, we're fairly active. I know, like, we had some of the guys running. They were leveling up some tunes yesterday. I would say probably evening to late night. There are some of us that are just late night people that you come in after midnight Eastern and you probably find somebody.
That's pretty much when my evening starts, honestly. So
you're a well documented night owl there, Mew.
Yes, definitely.
All right, and as we just found out pre-show, What is your addiction to the different ships? You have how many ships now?
Yeah.
I have 33 active ships and 29 that are in dry dock.
So of those 33, how many are completely crewed?
Well, it's more that you have to gear them up, but the way they have set it up in STO, you can actually use the same gear setup for each ship if you so desire. Because basically, and when you switch the ship, like when you're ready to a different ship, it will automatically transfer the gear over. It remembers what you have set up. So it makes it really simple and easy. It's kind of, I was like, it's sort of similar to the WoW with your, you can save your gear set, but this kind of is a little more automatic because, as you switch ships, that can switch everything for you.
It's kind of set up how Final Fantasy has your one character, but you can choose the different classes because that's what the ship does to you. Like a ship, you become engineering spec, or you become science spec, or you become tactical spec. Like it's changing your class, and then there's these different sub levels you can go on down with the different ships. So you'll have one that's even better at this one task. This one here's a PvPer because it has these tactical abilities or these science abilities to disable this and that. So yeah, it's kind of neat how that works.
Well, if they didn't do it this way, I would probably forget something, and I would, going out there and like, oh crap, I forgot like my engines.
Yeah,
I like Max's pants. Got it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, no, before they had that system set up, there was many times where I'd lose a really good console somewhere and come across it again. It's like, oh, what are you doing here?
Right.
You should be over here where you can be useful.
Yeah, that's just one. There's certain things like I kind of wish other games would do similar, and then there's things that I see other games do I wish they would bring into STO, but they constantly are updating and improving things, so there's a chance it'll come sometime, depending upon what it is.
Yes, kind of a constant cycle for these MMOs to kind of scavenge things from each other, and they just keep making each other better. That's why we need these competitions. That's why we need to not just have one massive MMO that's the biggest thing ever and nothing else, because you learn new stuff. I mean, I know that there's some stuff in the coming patches for WoW that they've definitely lifted from Final Fantasy, and then a lot of the Final Fantasy stuff that they lifted directly from WoW when they did the 2.0. So it's good. It's good for the environment, to all these games to constantly innovate like this.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Now most of my ships are cruisers, which I'm an engineer captain, so probably not a huge shock. And also for the fact that I grew up watching, Star Trek, so cruisers were pretty much what they went with for the original series and TNG. So yep, I do have some escorts. I do have some science ships. One reason I probably have collected so many right now is with the tier 6 system on the ships. You have starship traits, and each different ship has a different starship trait. So you level up the ship, and once you get it to the top, like level 5, you unlock a starship trait. Now, when you switch ships, you get to keep that trait and you can change out whatever traits you have. And it's kind of why if I go to my starship traits here, I have so many different starship traits. I've actually gone through and leveled up some of the various different ships just to unlock the traits. And it just gives you more options on how you want to play the game.
It keeps you from just sticking to one ship and never really going around exploring.
Well, there's that too. Like, one of the things I kind of liked about one ship, which is actually pulling me to want to play a different... I'm going towards a battle cruiser setup next. It is very similar to a cruiser. I mean, but it's a battle cruiser, so it's got, instead of having the balance 4 weapons on the front and 4 on the aft, this has 5 front, 3 aft. So it's much more heavier loaded on the front to deal more damage. So
And isn't a dreadnought basically one of those kind of similar ones, or is it still based on the cruiser?
Dreadnought's still based on the cruiser.
Okay.
It depends a little, like it has the phaser lance, so you do have basically an extra front 4 weapon that you can't change. It's just permanent. And if I zoom in on this, you can actually see the cannons are right on the top. They kind of look like 2 angled up things. And yeah, it just gives you an extra weapon. It does a high damage when it bursts out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And since you said you're mainly an engineering captain, do you get with the trying to remember from that, do the different classes of what you play impact how well you can do a ship, or
Like that.
It changed it. Well, it changes what options you have. Technically, any captain can fly any ship.
Yep.
It won't hurt you to say be an engineering captain in a science vessel or a engineering captain in an escort. Though
by getting the full advantage of it.
Well, there's actually some very high DPS builds of engineers in escort ships. So, I mean, and same for like a science captain in an escort. It's basically the escort is the DPS class. And yeah, while tactical does have other things to help boost their damage a bit more, but and engineers, where they kind of come in handy is we have an ability called Miracle Worker. We can be taken down to basically 1% pop Miracle Worker, and we're back to full.
Yeah.
So it's lay on of hands for your ship?
Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
That's very, I'm a doctor, not a miracle worker. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think of it, basically the 3 classes are essentially the Holy Trinity. You have your tank, you have your DPS, you have your healer or support kind of thing. So your engineer is your tank because they can take all the damage. They can repair their shields or their physical ship and all that. And then you have your science person, which can help with that healing, but they're more for shields. But their focus is more that they can disable the other guys. They can start hacking away at their ships to take stuff down, to open it up so the tactical swoops in and actually starts blasting away. So that's why it's kind of neat that you can kind of switch your ships out because, yeah, you're an engineer, so you can keep your ship alive, but you have a tactical ship. So while you're keeping your tactical ship alive, it's blasting holes through things. So it's kind of cool that way. And also, like, there's a huge difference between your ground character and your ship character. You know, the class you chose is going to be more readily available to your ground character because that's what you are. If you're an engineer, you're the tank on the ground. You're going to be drawing all focus, kind of taunting. You're going to be taking all the damage, and then the scientist is going to be the one that's going to be, you know, healing you up and healing up everyone else in the group, and then your tactical is the one trying to shoot everyone. So that it more matters there. But then when in space, it's a lot more multifaceted. It's kind of cool that you can, like you said, switch between different ships, and it's always neat to jump into a ship that's not your specialty, but there are benefits. Like, you know, the one thing that I don't think we touched on is that, like, your engineer can actually teach your engineering crew members different abilities. So you're actually kind of mentoring them. So you can actually buff that. Like any consoles that are matching your class can get that much of a boost because that's what you're good at.
Cool.
Gotcha. Very cool.
And well, even though like there's cruisers, which are typically most people think as tanks, there's still even a wide range on cruisers. Like there's the Guardian cruise, like the Guardian one it's the tank, like in game. If you want to be a tank, you want to get all the threat, you want to have everything hitting you, it would be the ship to fly. Now I'm flying like the Dreadnought. It can tank, and as an engineer, I can take quite a pounding with it, but I don't have as much of the hull and shields as like the Guardian one.
Mm-hmm.
But I do a fair amount of damage with it. I did about what I think it was like 10,000, 5,000 somewhere, which I've been starting to try to delve into gearing up and figuring out where I'm at with that. But for a tank, I was doing a fair amount of damage comparatively, because normally tanks don't do much damage, just like WoW, So it's kind of cool to be able to have a ship I can kind of tank with. It can get a little touch and go, though, at certain really high damage fights.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the fun of having 33 ships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like having a hybrid class, I'd guess, where you're a tank DPSer.
Right.
Yeah.
A tankster?
Yeah, something like that.
Tankster.
It's like the
No, because a tankster would be, I was tanking before it was cool.
Got it.
Sure.
All right. Oi.
Well,
I know,
technically,
well,
Exactly.
actually.
I was like, has tanking technically been cool by?
No, not really.
I was like, most people always like, I don't want to tank.
Yeah.
It takes a very special mentality to tank.
You like the
There's 3 tanks in front of me. And I'm saying it takes a special
Right.
mentality to tank.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
I guess that's probably about it, unless there's any parting words from you, Greybog.
I think that's pretty much everything.
Cool.
I'm sure as time goes, there will be more news, which I can always come back.
Yes, sir. We'd love to have
yes.
you on.
Yeah, we'll bug you
Exactly.
Don't make me put you in my rotation.
later.
She will.
Yes.
Well,
She'll put you in a
fortunately,
Rolodex and call you up.
fortunately, this is the opposite weekend from my D&D games that run, so,
I understand there.
Very cool.
So I guess that will be our show for tonight. So while the chat room begins suggesting show titles, we want to thank Greybog for joining us.
Woohoo!
So
All right.
if there's anything you in particular, Greybog, you want to plug, if you have a Twitter website or whatnot, it looks like here that we can find you in the forums and, of course, on Discord.
Yes.
But
I do have a Twitter account. I barely use it. It's at Greebog. Go figure,
Right.
that works.
Where all your greybogs are found.
Exactly.
Discord is a great way
so
to contact
seriously,
me.
Discord.
I was like, because I check Discord daily. I have it on my phone. I'll get the message fairly quick in Discord.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And if you have a question or comment about our show, you can email us at podcast@aie-guild.org. You can also follow us on Twitter. The show is at AIE Podcast. Mew is at The Mew Cow. McCullough is at Cyberwave. And I am at Ivory Tiger. We record live with video every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. You can join the chat room and play along with us on our website at aie-guild.org/podcast-live-stream. Server for chat is at bit.ly/AIE Podcast Discord. Our theme was composed by the amazing Andrew Allen. Follow him at Keys with Soul or visit his website, keyswithsoul.com.
And now it's time to play all the great AIE member segments we received this week, including Altitis by our very own Mew Cow and Overly Demeric News from Hunts the Wind.
Yeah, that Mukai guy stopped being lazy for once.
Oh, yeah, because that Mew Cow
Yeah,
just has so much time on
so
his
much
hands.
free time. Yeah.
So much free time.
All right, join us for the AIE podcasts in 2 standard Earth weeks. We'll see who we get for a guest.
I'm working on it.
Until then, this is Mew Cow.
This is Tetsemi.
This is McCullough.
And this has been the AIE Podcast.
I wonder if I can get Max to come on and talk about his lack of pants.
I'm picking
There's
out
the-
they may want to come on soon.
They might be due for it, actually, thinking about it.
All right, so we have a few show title suggestions. Tet's posting in there for you.
We've got Live Long and Join the Fleet from Sybil. We have Fleet Commander on the Bridge from Tipper.
I think we need to get Max and Seema on. That would be fun. But I know Sunday nights are rough for Seema, so we might have to work around that if we wanted to get her on.
Show title 2 from Sybil. Hail the new commander of Deep Space AIE. So, Greybog, these are your decisions. You get to choose what title goes on this one.
Bum, bum, bum.
Bottom of the document.
Did we lose him?
I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I'm debating. It's a hard choice.
It is.
I like the Hail new commander, but that seems a bit long. I don't know.
The middle one, Fleet Commander on the bridge.
That's a good one too. Let's go with that one.
That sounds good. Show title. All right.
Thank you, chat room, so much.
We
You
were-
guys are wonderful.
Yep. Thank you, chat
for being
room.
there.
You guys are wonderful.
Yep.
So,
I just said.
all right.
Fucking echo.
echo. How you
Hey,
echoing?
it's
One
a
year
good-
in marriage. You know what the other one's going to say, clearly.
All right. Well, I'm going to cut the broadcast. So thank you, chat room. You guys were awesome. We
Bye,
look forward to seeing you in all the AIE games.